Hello everybody, this is part 9 of Biotechnology Revealed. Today I want to talk about contract manufacturers of biologics. That is the people that rent space to small biotech companies that don't have the money to build their own plants. To build a plant even just to make enough drugs for clinical trials is going to cost you upwards to $300 million and even $500 million to build, and most small companies don't have any revenue, so they really can't afford that, and that's where contract manufacturers come in. They rent space to these small fledgling biotech companies to produce what they need for the clinical trials. And I'll show you a little something here on the board. Here we have a partial list of the directory of biopharmaceutical contract manufacturers. And I have A through H here. And you can scan down the list. These are all contract manufacturers of biologics. And you come to Cytovance Biologics Inc. It's highlighted, and this is 2 pages of about 5, so they're well over 100 contract manufacturing organizations. And this is a little about Cytovance itself and its facility. I want to read that. I'll try to get it a little wider if you want to read that, but basically it has a 44,000 square foot facility, which is relatively small. It is in Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma City. But it's a small contract manufacturer. And here's a small biotech company, Celexis Pharmaceuticals. And you can read. Celexis has completed research on its anti-adhesion technologies and is in preclinical development of antibody-based therapies for treating inflammation. If you would like to learn more about the product or discussion partnership or license opportunity, please contact us. That's their little blurb there. But sounds like they're trying to make some monoclonal antibodies. And they're preclinical, as you see. You can see that they're not very big. Supported by over 25 million in grants and awards over the past 12 years from National Heart, Lung and Blood Institute, and NIH. So they're not very big if they've only raised that much over a 12-year period. So, Celexis wants to start clinical trials. What do they do? Well, Celexis selects Cytovance Biologics of Oklahoma City as a contract manufacturer. You can see Cytovance Biologics, Oklahoma City, has an agreement for a process development and manufacturing collaboration with Celexis Pharmaceutical Corporation. And as you see, they're going to use that 44,000 square foot facility that Cytovance has. So that gets you from, how do we produce this? We get this contract manufacturer. We can't build our own plant, they're much too expensive. So they hire Cytovance's facilities to manufacture what they need for clinical trials. And to give you a comparison idea of that size of that Cytovance plant, here is Merck New Biologics pilot plant. And you can see Merck was spending $200 million on the project, and it comprises 260,000 square feet. Pilot plant, that's roughly 5 times the size of that Cytovance facility. And what they're doing with this, it's a pilot plant. The facility will include bulk manufacturing through filling, finishing, and shipping for phase 1, 2, and efficacy clinical trials. That means it's not even to be a production plant if the drug is approved. It's only to produce enough for clinical trials. So it costs $200 million to build a pilot plant to make a small amount of these drugs. So as I've showed you in previous episodes, that they're building plants 1 billion and upwards to 2 billion to manufacture these and to get through trials these biologics. In the early part I told you about not really being able to find any new plants that are being built since early 2007, but actually here's one here, and this article is from July 14th of 2008, a little less than a year ago, that Lonza to co-develop Novartis biologics. Novartis is pretty new to biologics. And if you scan down, they're building a plant in Singapore, and this says this last point suggests that beyond the 700 million Singapore facility currently under construction, Novartis will not be adding to its 6 biopharmaceutical plants in the near future. So it doesn't have any plans to go forward and build any more either. So I hadn't been able to find any in 2 years being built. This one is, but they have no plans to build any in the future. Well, most of what's in the pipeline being biologics, up to 600 candidates. They're going to need the space once they, even if it's 600 and 1 in 10 get approved, that's still 60. And they're going to need a lot of space. And nobody's building, aside from this one, new biomanufacturing facilities. Makes you wonder. Well, as you could see from the previous parts to this series, that everything about biotechnology and biologics is extremely expensive. So what can be done about the expense? Can we save any money here? The next segment I'll be talking about biosimilars, the pathway to biosimilars, supposedly a bill that could possibly get voted on to make, in the fall, to make generic versions of biologics. But as Avastin costs $200,000 a year, and Cerezyme costs $300,000 a year, and Myozyme costs upwards to $773,000, would the savings really mean much? I mean, nobody could afford that to begin with. And if they go from exorbitant to just ridiculously overpriced stuff, I mean, does it help that we have generic versions? So we'll talk about the possibility of generics next time. See you. Bye.